Hey future homeowners and sellers, this is Aaron with eXp, and I've got 4 essential questions that you need to ask your realtor before listing your property. Let's dive in. First and foremost, you need to ask your realtor, what are you doing to market my property and help me find the perfect buyer? And you cannot accept these answers anymore of put the property on the MLS, take professional pictures, do an open house on Sunday, give flyers to the entire neighborhood. No. Those are things of the past, if they're even doing that. And don't get me started with, I got buyers in New York, California, overseas. No. You need to find out what your realtor is doing in terms of online digital marketing, social media marketing, and online paid advertisements to really give your property the exposure that it deserves and put it in front of thousands and thousands of buyers at a time. Because we need to meet these buyers where they are, which everybody knows in the 21st century is online. Question number 2 that you need to ask your realtor. What's the best strategy to price my home? Because everybody knows when it comes to pricing, that is simply the most important aspect to selling your home. When a property is priced correctly, a property will sell. Now, when it comes to pricing, there are 2 strategies available that a seller can employ to get their property sold. Strategy number 1, which is a good strategy, is where they take that range of what the market is telling us your property is worth, and you can price it just above that range. Now, what that does, it gives you room to be able to negotiate and still get that price that you are looking for, but you do run into 2 risks. Risk number 1 is that pricing the property above what it's worth, you run the risk of sitting on the market for a longer period of time because you end up eliminating some of those potential buyers. Now, with sitting on the market for a longer period of time, statistics show that the longer you sit on the market, the less that your property ultimately sells for. So the 2 things to consider with putting your property above what it's worth is that it can sit for a longer period of time and that you run the risk of ultimately selling for less. Now, strategy number 2, which is the one that most of my sellers and sellers that are actually getting their property sold in this current market are implying, is where they take that range of what the market is telling us their property is worth and you price it right at the bottom. Now, what does that do? That creates enormous demand on your property. It gets you the best chances to get multiple offers on the property and buyers competing for your home. And what ends up coming to the surface is the most that somebody's willing to pay for your home. So make sure that you use a realtor who's educated enough to know the strategies that go behind pricing and why they are choosing the price and guiding you to choose the price that you are for your home, because it's extremely important. Moving on to question number 3. What's the absorption rate in my neighborhood? Now, this is an extremely important question that you need to ask your realtor, not only to make sure that they're well versed with the real estate market in your neighborhood, but also that they even know what absorption rate is. Absorption rate is simply how fast homes are selling in your neighborhood, meaning the higher the absorption rate, the faster homes are selling, means seller's market, good for you. The slower the absorption rate, the slower homes are selling, means buyer's market, good for the buyer. Now, what does that mean in layman's terms? A seller's market simply means that there are more buyers in the market than there are sellers selling their property, giving the seller the upper hand. You get to pick which buyer you want, which terms you want, and you almost always end up with a better price. Meanwhile, in a buyer's market is the opposite. There's more sellers in the market than there are buyers. So the buyers get the chance to pick and choose what properties they want to buy, what properties they want to pick, and they usually end up with the better prices. Now, it's important that you know what's going on in your neighborhood because absorption rates vary from city to city, neighborhood to neighborhood, and even county to county. So make sure that you're up to date with the absorption rate and that especially your realtor can break it down for you. Now, let's jump into the 4th and final question that you need to ask your realtor. And it's usually your favorite one as a seller. Why do you charge X amount commission? Not only is this question going to test your realtor's ability to negotiate their own income and show you a little bit about what you can expect when they're negotiating on behalf of your property, but also there's an aspect to the commission that not many people even take a look at. The commission is actually a very important part of marketing your property, because when your property is exposed to the MLS and the hundreds of thousands of realtors out there taking a look at your property on the MLS, we're not only promoting and selling your property to potential buyers, but also to the realtors who are representing them. Because take a look at it from this point of view. If you're a real estate agent, 100% commission based, and this is just the reality, and you see two properties in a neighborhood, one with a 3% commission and one at a 1.5, at a 2, or whatever the case, which is a $10, $15, $20,000 difference, which one do you think that you would be more likely to tell your buyer to take a look at first? It's just the reality of the situation. Commission is a very strong marketing tactic to get not only more buyers coming to the property, but more realtors bringing their buyers. So there you have it. Those are just 4 of the many questions you could ask your realtor to make sure that you're making the best choice. Now, if you have any more questions, any more concerns, thinking about selling or buying your home, this is Aaron Simon with eXp. You could contact us at 786-424-1136. We're here to help. Talk to you soon.